Hey guys, it's Renee here with Real Talk. I wanted to do this video tonight because I needed to follow up on the video that I did about like a week ago because I have this overwhelming feeling that somebody needs to hear this. Because as I was, what's it called? Watching the video that I did like a week or so ago, I noticed that there was something that I did not mention in it, and I feel it's very important, and I really feel like someone needs to hear this. Basically, what I did not say is that with my experience in the relationship that I was in, the person that I was with would always say things like, "You're gonna get punished." Um, you constantly hear that I was going to be punished, or I was going to pay for whatever it is that he thought in his mind that he thought I did. Okay, where basically if you're hearing this stuff in your relationship, that someone wants to punish you or make you pay, you need to take a few steps back and say, what? Because in a normal relationship, a person that you're with is not going to punish you, is not going to make you pay, is not going to hurt you in any way. They're going to lift you up, okay? They're going to work with you as a team. They're not going to hurt you. They're going to love you. They're going to do things because they want to make you happy. They're not going to punish you. And I felt that that was very, very important for me to say, because if you're in a relationship right now, you need to take a couple of steps back and evaluate it if you're hearing those kind of terms from your partner, that they want to punish you just because you didn't agree with what they said, or you didn't want to do what they wanted you to do, or just because you made chicken that night and they wanted steak, or whatever it is. Nobody, and I mean nobody, should punish you. I'm 40 years old, okay? No one's going to be punishing me. My parents growing up never punished me, so I'm going to let a person I'm in a relationship punish me? No, I don't think so. That's not going to happen. Okay? And we have to realize that should be like a red flag that comes up, especially if you hear that, oh, I'm going to punish you because you didn't do what I wanted you to do. Or they'll usually twist it around and say that they need to, that there's consequences for your actions. And so you need to pay for what you did. You need to be punished so that doesn't happen again. Okay, and I'm not even talking about that you did something bad to them. You just might not have wanted to go to a certain restaurant. I'm just using that. No, they really don't take you to restaurants, but it could be just anything, like you didn't agree with their opinion, or you spoke back to them and they didn't like how you were acting. Okay, so they would throw that and say, okay, well, you're going to be punished for that, and I'm going to punish you, so you make sure that you don't say that ever again, or you don't do that ever again. Know that that is not normal behavior, and it has nothing to do with you. Okay, these people who are narcissistic, they need to be controlling. So when you fight back with them and you don't agree with what they're saying, they're going to punish you because they have no control over you. Or a lot of times they say a lot of things because they want to act all tough so they can intimidate you. Okay? But we can't allow that to happen anymore, because nobody should punish you. And I just felt a need that I really needed to say this, because I didn't say it in my last video, because that's something in my experience that I have dealt with over and over again. So if you're in a relationship right now and you hear all those terms, please, that's a red flag. Take a few steps back, evaluate the relationship that you're in, and definitely listen to your gut. Okay? I know when you're dealing with a narcissistic person, it is extremely, extremely difficult, because they mentally abused you. They knocked you down so much where you have lower self-esteem. You can't even think straight for yourself. There's so many different things, like your head is just spinning basically, like you don't know what to do, whatever. And then a lot of times I've heard, well, how did you not know you were in that kind of relationship? How could you have not seen it? Like, how could you not? Because you know what it is like these narcissistic people, they're great manipulators. It's like they're an expert at manipulating people. And they actually started like basically the first day that they met you. Maybe they even started before they even met you. Maybe they were just, watching you from a distance, just to see things that you like or don't like. And then once they got into your life, like immediately they would be saying things that maybe we didn't catch on to right away. It could have just been like a phrase of what they said, but certain phrases that they used already started the process for them to mentally abuse us, so they can knock us down, so they can control us. And they do all that so we don't leave them, and that we feel like we need them in our life. In all actuality, we don't need them in our life. So just if you hear those, sayings from anybody that they're going to punish you, remember, nobody punishes you. Okay? So, like I was saying before, is like when I was like with me being in the narcissistic relationship, there were many times that I'm like, how am I going to get myself out of this? What am I going to do? And I really didn't know where to start or where to begin, because at that point, when you finally realize that you are in a narcissistic relationship, that the guy or the girl that you're with really doesn't love you, they really don't care about you, and it's all a game. It's like your head's spinning because you're a normal person. You have feelings, and you just can't wrap your mind around how could someone not love you, okay, and do all these things to you. I don't know, that like how they have no emotions. Narcissistic people have no emotions. They don't feel, and they look at you like they could have more. Like they look at you like if you were a television set or an electronic device. Like they have no feelings at all. Um, so when you're mentally abused by a narcissistic person, basically, you're all screwed up in the head, okay? And you want to get out of it so badly. You're unhappy, but you just don't know what to do. So I'm going to give you some examples and, some advice on what you can do to get yourself out of this relationship. And I know I said in the last video, the number one thing that you need to do is to work on yourself. Okay? We need to get you strong enough so you can actually leave this relationship and not be treated the way that you've been treated. Okay? It's not going to happen overnight, unfortunately. I wish I could say that by tomorrow you're going to be healed and everything's going to be great. It's not. It's going to be a process. Okay? So I know I said on the last video that there are many Facebook groups out there, which there are. And I would recommend that you do some searches. There's great ones for narcissistic abuse on there that you can actually get into the group, speak to other people, and you can get advice from other people that have already dealt with it also, which is great. And they put other tools on there, other articles, a whole bunch of things. So it will teach you a lot. So, and you'll also see that you're not alone. You're not alone, and that to me was like a great comfort, because I really felt like I was all alone. Yes, we have our family. Yes, we have our friends. But if a person never dealt with this before, they really cannot relate to exactly what you're dealing with or what you're going through. So besides that, I always, oh my God, I was always on Google. I Googled everything you could possibly imagine, and I read a whole bunch of articles and everything like that. Okay, then once I realized I needed to work on myself, which was very difficult because I'm the type of person that puts everybody before me. But for once in my life, I needed to put myself first, because I knew that I wanted to change. And the only way that a change was going to happen is if I put myself first. And I needed to do that for my own well-being. And I needed to get out of that toxic relationship. It just was not doing me any good. Okay, so let's talk about self-help, what you could do. Now, there are going to be a few books that I suggest that you go out and read. A lot of them are on ebooks or whatever, but the first one, Doreen Virtue, actually has a book, Don't Let Anyone Dull Your Sparkle, which I think was a great book. It will definitely help you and open your eyes and work within yourself. There are some chapters that you might not agree with, in the sense of like, maybe becoming a vegetarian or stuff like that. But majority, like everything except for like 1 or 2 chapters might sound like crazy to you, but everything else was great. So I do definitely suggest you reading that book, and you could download it. I don't have it here to show you because I downloaded it on my phone. Now, the next book that I definitely suggest that you read, okay, is called Total Self-Confidence, and this is by Dr. Robert Anthony. This book is actually my second copy because my first copy years ago actually got destroyed in Sandy, because I actually read this book a long time ago, back in 1998, I want to say, and it got destroyed. And then what happened was, it's like, I'm like, oh my God, I remembered all those years ago, like, about this book. I'm like, this book did wonders for me. So then I definitely got it again because I know I had to throw it out, you know, when everything got destroyed at Sandy. So I definitely bought it again. But you can actually go onto YouTube and do a search, a Total Self-Confidence, Dr. Robert Anthony. They have a free audio, so you can actually listen to the book. Just make sure, like, when you're reading this book, that the activities and the stuff that they want you to do in here, to do it, because that's what is going to actually help you heal, so you can feel more self-confident and better about yourself. So this book, I definitely recommend. It has helped me more than once. And that's why I love it so much. But definitely, Total Self-Confidence is a really great book. Now, another book that I do suggest that will actually help you in all of your life is called The Slight Edge. This is a phenomenal book. This will actually help you in everything in your life. If it's a business, yourself, everything. You know, it's something that I definitely suggest that you go out and read. This is something that will help you. Okay, so the next book that I'm actually, you know, I got recommended by my friend Joanne to read, Strengths Finders 2.0. I have not yet read this, but after I'm done reading it, I will let you guys know how it was. But if Joanne said it was great, I know it's going to be phenomenal because she is one great woman. So that's my next book that I have to, you know, start reading. Okay, more self-help. There's more things to do except for just reading books. And this is something that I really believe in, is saying affirmations. And at first, when I first started saying affirmations, you're gonna feel strange. You're gonna feel weird saying it. You're gonna feel like, I don't want to say the word stupid, but yeah, you're gonna feel stupid saying it because you're just not used to saying it about yourself. But this is something that, by you saying throughout the day and every day, and be consistent with it, because that's when it's going to work. And before you know it, you're going to see all the pieces coming together, and you're going to be happy again. You're going to feel yourself stronger. Your confidence level is going to be back, and you're going to feel amazing. I'm telling you, this is going to help you. Just try it out, okay? So basically, the affirmations, it's very important on how you do them. And I'll end up telling you the 7 that I say. I actually say a little bit more than 7, but I'll just give you the 7 key ones that I do. Not saying that you have to say the exact ones I say, but you could also go on the internet and see what other affirmations that you could say. You could say anything, basically, whatever it is, as long as it's positive. Because what happens is like, we have to change the way that we think. A lot of our thoughts are negative. We have to change them into positive thinking. So the more positive thinking we have, the more positive results we're going to have. It is going to happen, and you got to believe that, okay? So getting back to the affirmations. Now, the list that, on how you say it. Now, like I said, it's gonna, when you first start doing it, you're gonna feel weird saying it. I'm telling you, you are, because I know I have, but now it's much easier to say. But you want to be aware when you do say these affirmations, the feelings that you feel when you say it. Okay, so if you feel uncomfortable, do you feel like you believe that you actually said it? Like, do you believe what you said? Do you feel peaceful? Do you feel anxiety? Do you feel happy? Do you feel like excited? It could be so many different things that you actually feel. And pay attention to certain things, because things are going to surface, and they need to surface in order for you to heal. And then when things surface, you've got to deal with them and actually accept whatever it is. And I'll get into that a little bit more in just a minute when I do one of them that I do on the list. So the first one that I do say every day is I love myself. Yes, I love myself. I love myself. So when you're doing it, the first time you say it, just take a little bit, absorb what you just said, and see how you felt by saying it. And I basically will say it about 5 times to myself. I actually will say it out loud, because I don't know. You could say it to yourself or out loud. I prefer to say it out loud because I'm actually hearing me say it instead of hearing it into my thoughts. So that's just me. So the first one is I love myself. The second one that I do say is I am a spiritual being. So it's very important, like I said before, to listen to what you feel when you say this. At first I'm like, a spiritual being, but yes, we are all spiritual beings. It's very important for us to get in touch with our spiritual being side, because that is who we are. That's, I'm not saying, to be a spiritual being, you need to go to church every Sunday, because I don't, but it's very good to have a relationship with God or angels or whoever you believe in. It's very, you need to get in touch with your spiritual side. And once you do, you're going to see what happens, to you is going to be phenomenal. It's like all good things are going to start happening for you once you get in touch with your spiritual side. That's something that I really truly believe. So like I said, you don't need to go to church. It's not like, if you do, that's great. That's great. And I know I should, but you know what? I have my own relationship with God, and I believe in God, and I have my own relationship with him. I can speak to him at any time I need to. I just was never a church person, but I can't feel bad about that. That's just me. And if you go to church, that's fantastic. But the next one that I say is, which is going to be a hard one for each and every one of you, and this is where I said that I'll let you know more about it. Number 3 is I forgive myself. Okay? Now, when you say this, I forgive myself, a lot of things will surface. I'm telling you, things that you might have thought that you were over, you're not over it. It's very important that you learn to forgive yourself as well as you forgive others. And what I include with my number 3 is I forgive the people that have hurt me in the past. I forgive anyone that has done me wrong. And you could even say their names. I combine this with my number 3, because once you actually release and forgive yourself and forgive the people that have hurt you, you're releasing all this negative energy, and you will then be able to receive all the positive good things in your life. You just made room. You got rid of the trash. You got rid of the old things that was holding you down, and then you're able to get great things in your life. So that's my number 3. So far, number 1 I have is I love myself. Number 2 is I am a spiritual being. Number 3 is I forgive myself. So when you're saying I forgive myself, please take notice of what you're feeling when you're saying it. Don't just rush in and say I forgive myself, I forgive myself, I forgive myself. No, you gotta really feel it and take notice of the feelings that you feel. Number 4 is I have a right to be rich. Yes, you heard me right. I have a right to be rich. A lot of times people feel guilty for wanting to be rich or having money, and there's no reason in the world to feel guilty about that. Okay? There's none in the world. We need money to live. We need money to survive. Just like Donald Trump has all this money, all the rich people, who owns Microsoft, everybody. There's a lot of people that are rich. But there's no reason for you to feel guilty about you coming into money or you being rich, because you deserve it just like they do. Okay? So what I say for number 4 is I have a right to be rich. Now, number 5 is I say I am healthy. I am healthy. And I know this might get a few comments or whatever, or people thinking, but, well, what if you have something going on with you? Or what if whatever it is? Well, you know what? Obviously, there are going to be certain things that cannot be healed by just you saying I am healthy, but it's going to make you healthy in other ways. Healthy mind, body, and soul. Okay, so you just want to be healthy in general, you want to be healthy because you want to try to be as positive as possible when you're saying this. Trust me, I know how it is not to feel well. I was diagnosed many, many years ago with fibromyalgia. I had Lyme's disease. I had so many different ailments that you would not even think is possible. Obviously, yes, there's worse people off out there than having fibromyalgia. I understand that and I get that. I'm just speaking about myself, about what I have been through. So let me just give you an example. The last video, if you remember me saying a couple of times, oh my God, my head is hurting me, my head, and I didn't know what was going on with me. I just didn't feel right for the last few weeks. So I went to the doctor, I got blood work back, and I got blood work done, and I'll get my results back on Friday. But this headache would just not stop. I'm telling you, I just didn't feel right. It was just more than just a headache. I had other symptoms as well. But I was like, I kept on thinking about all the pain that I was feeling from my headache. I was weak, I was tired, I was this, I was that. But you constantly saying that, guess what? You're going to feel worse and worse and worse because you keep telling yourself that you're feeling worse, you're feeling horrible. Let me tell you, today is the first day that I actually woke up with no headache. And I started saying these like for the last, I would say, week now, maybe a few days. I started doing these affirmations, and I've been saying, I am healthy, I am healthy, I am healthy. And I was saying that with my head pounding, but I was saying to myself, I am healthy. And today is the first day that I actually feel like I got my strength back, and I didn't have a headache. So we'll see what happens on Friday with the results. But I know, I do say, I am healthy. Okay. Now, number 6. This is great to say, especially with what we said on number 4, which number 4 was, I have a right to be rich. Now, number 6 is, wealth is flowing to me. Wealth is flowing to me. Because the number 4 we said is, I have a right to be rich. Yes, you're putting it out there, like saying that you don't feel guilty. You should not feel guilty about having a right to be rich. Now we're saying wealth is flowing to me. That doesn't mean that you're going to go to your mailbox and you're going to see a check in there and stuff like that. No, it doesn't mean that. But you're going to start seeing in unexpected ways that you're going to be, receiving wealth in many different ways. Wealth doesn't always have to be money, but, that would be great if it is. But you're going to start seeing wealth, things coming your way. But just continue to say, and you're going to start seeing great things happen. Now, number 7, I am a courageous person. This one's going to be very, very important, especially for all of us that has had any kinds of abuse, especially from a narcissistic person, because you are courageous, okay? You are a courageous person. I am a courageous person. We are strong, so you need to feel that, because when you first say it, you might not believe it, but keep saying it, and then you're going to go deep in within yourself, and you're going to find that you are a courageous person. You could do more than you think you can do. Just stick with it, and just make sure that you say these a few times a day. So I'm just going to quickly say it one more time, so just in case you wanted to write it down or whatever. And like I said before, you don't have to say the ones that I say. You can do a Google search and see what other things that you might want to say that might, relate better to you. Like I said, these are the ones that I say. So number 1 is, I love myself. I am a spiritual being. I forgive myself. I have a right to be rich. I am healthy. Wealth is flowing to me. I am a courageous person. Those are the 7 ones that, that I do say. I do say other ones that I'm not including on this list here. Like I also say I am profoundly clairvoyant, because I want to get more in touch with my spiritual being side. So I do add that as well. But I hope that this can help you. I really honestly had an overwhelming feeling that I needed to make this video because someone out there needs to hear this. Know that you're not alone, okay? There's Facebook groups out there. You're going to start working on yourself. You are a beautiful person inside and out. You just have to learn. You got to know your worth, okay? And you just went through something that someone that wasn't ever in a narcissistic relationship will ever know. You've been mentally abused day in and day out, and you should never have had to deal with that. So use that as an advantage to make your life even better, because now you're going to have the tools to start working on you and go after your dreams. I know it's not going to happen tomorrow, but you know what? If you work at it a little bit each day, it's going to make you stronger and stronger, and you're going to be that courageous person that you say every day. So if you have any questions, or you just need someone to talk to, or anything, you can always feel free to send me a message. I'm always here to help, or leave a comment below. I hope everybody has a great Wednesday night, and I will talk to you soon. See you soon. Mwah!